We've got so much chorus going on in this pedal that eventually chorus isn't even going to sound like a real word anymore. Let's get to know the Keeley Seafoam Plus. The Seafoam Plus uses this familiar pedal format, same one we saw for the Bubbletron, and applies to it the chorus effect. And, well, here we go again. Chorus is just you take the original signal, you double it, delay it, and then adjust the amount of delay back and forth slowly over time. That alters the pitch and timing just enough that when they get mixed back together again, our electric meat up here gets tricked into thinking there's an additional voice or two in there. Pretty clever. If you're after your standard rich, lush chorus, that's the Seafoam mode with the switch in the middle here, and it sounds like this. In that mode, you've got a pretty great analog style chorus. And notice how it says vibrato/chorus? Well, if you take out that original signal, what you're left with is a version of it that's being adjusted up and down in pitch. That's vibrato. If you're wondering about the plus part of the Seafoam Plus, that's because this pedal is taking the sound of the Keeley Seafoam, which is another pedal by Robert Keeley, and building on it in these other modes, which we'll get to right now, starting with ADT. This is the ADT dimension setting, and I know I say this a lot, but there's a lot going on in here. ADT stands for automatic double tracking, and this mode is borrowed from the Keeley 30 milliseconds ADT pedal. That mode creates a second and third voice in the mix, and they're detuned and delayed enough to, again, sound like there's additional voices in there, but without as much up and down wobbling as a traditional chorus. In this mode, we use the rate/tune knob to adjust how much those voices get detuned, and you can actually bend them pretty far on here. You can also use the depth knob to adjust how much they're delayed, and because that's not enough, now you can use the space knob to add in some reverb from Keeley's Abbey Chamber Reverb. I said there was a lot going on in here. Check it out. All the way on the bottom, dual chorus. And this is for when normal chorus just isn't cutting it. The manual actually does a great job of describing this. Take any frequencies below your high E string, and this knob controls the depth of those frequencies in the chorus effect. Frequencies high E and up, you set with the depth knob up here. And it's not a dual chorus the same way that the stereo turbo chorus is with two oscillators, but this lets you make sure the chorus effect is deep where you want it to be deep and more subtle where you want to keep those notes less affected. So that's all pretty impressive, but if you're familiar with these Keeley pedals, you know there's two dip switches on the back, one to go between vintage and modern voicing, and one to change modes. So we had a lot of fun with our guitar in mode 1. Mode 2 is for the bass players. Yeah, that's right, buddy. It's for you. So back on the top setting, ADT now becomes a flanger. A flanger. Why don't you give that a shot, Beanie Boy? Not bad, not bad. In bass mode, the Seafoam and Dual Chorus modes get their frequencies shifted a little to make more sense for our low-end friends. Hey, you know what I meant. So to recap, top position, ADT dual tracking, dual voice dimension, chorus, something or other, plus reverb and a flanger in mode 2. By the way, the instructions make sure to note that guitar players are also allowed to enjoy that flanger. Middle setting is an incredibly nice sounding analog style chorus, and if you turn the mix knob all the way to the right, it becomes a vibrato. And the bottom setting is for the dual chorus. Let's get the band back together and use some of those modes for one big send-off. How much I like chorus pedals, and you know how much I like pedals with modes. This is a great little selection of modulation that I've had a lot of fun exploring. I didn't realize I was getting an ADT mode with this pedal. I thought it was just a couple styles of traditional chorus, and that ADT mode really has my interest now. I loved how sweet and open it made my lead part on that first track. It really reminded me of being outside in the middle of a nice day in the summer. Looking forward to nicer weather. And then everything else you get, it just comes together to make one heck of a pedal. I kind of wish Keeley would just release one gigantic pedal with presets and a screen. That would, I mean, who am I kidding? I'd still keep buying individual pedals, but there's just a great assortment of unique effects that could go on there. One thing kind of annoying, just the natural downside of having so many options, it's easy to forget what the knobs do in each setting. For example, in dual chorus mode, space controls the low frequency depth, and depth controls the high frequency depth. And I guess this one being high and this one being low should be a reminder, but it's almost worth having one of those Boss side stickers like they used to include with the reverb and pitch shifting pedals. That, and I wish the mode switch on the PCB was easier to get to. I will get around to modding in a side mounted switch for that, but these are all very first world problems of me to even bring up. I think this is a very easy pedal to recommend. And if you've gotten burned by chorus pedals before and you're like, chorus just isn't for me, maybe this is the one to check out when you're feeling curious. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this little production. And don't forget, I've got an Instagram. Make sure to follow Stompbox Breakdown on there. Make sure you hit subscribe right here. Maybe tell a friend or two, but most importantly, keep on playing, keep on having fun, and I'll catch you on the next one.